volunteer. I help with Vacation Bible School and help provide assistance with youth group.
I mostly help with children's ministries around the church. I help with Vacation Bible School and children's sermons. I serve on the education committee.
Well, I take care of the children in the daycare. I love taking care of the kids. I love doing the special events that we have, like Halloween. The kids dress up.
I serve as the education ministry team chair, and along with that, I teach children's Sunday school.
Directed theater camp this last summer. I'm head of the nursery on a volunteer basis on Sundays and during the week.
I helped out with theater camp.
I volunteer at a music camp, and I've been alkaline for years.
I acolyte. I take their offering to put to the altar, and then I light candles and put them out.
A member of the choir, that's important to me also. Even though I'm not the best singer, I try to do it enthusiastically. I think it's one of the best kept secrets in this church, all the fun we have in choir.
I volunteer 3 days a week in the office and on various committees of the church.
I've worked AV.
Sometimes when my mom needs help in the office or something, I'll go do the sign outside.
Help teach our self-taught class the way.
Chairperson for the library committee. We try to maintain the library, and we obtain new materials to put in the library, and we process them and put them on the shelves.
I mean, I love going to Legacy, to the elderly, so that we can give them cookies and punch.
With youth group, we went to Aldersgate nursing home to volunteer and visit with some of them. We did beanbag toss, we listened to music and danced with some of them.
With youth group, we go to Aldersgate, and we just entertain the old people.
And we played games with them, and we danced with them, and just had a lot of fun.
I volunteer at the food bank, eye care, and TFAB in the basement of the church.
I work at eye care when I'm off school.
At the food bank, I would pack boxes full of food and carry them up to people's cars and unload trucks full of food, and I would bring food out for people.
I help out some with the youth group and the Boy Scouts that meet at the church.
I'm working at the powwow. We did do a service project out at Camp Chippewa to get rid of some debris from a storm.
I do some volunteering out in the community with the Salvation Army, with the Police Athletic League, and then also do quite a bit of volunteering here at the church.
I always enjoy the events that we have out on the lawn. I just think that it's so neat for the community to get to see all that we do. And not only do the community members love it, but I feel like our church members come together, and I get to see the excitement that when they're sharing about our church and letting others see what a great place we are.
We went out and cleaned up around the church, and the community. We went out there and cleaned stuff up, and we went to our pastor Bernie's yard and cleaned his yard. I went to Aldersgate. I helped on Hands on Topeka. I've been helping with stewardship videos. I did the farmer's market.
The farmer's market, there's different groups doing things, and like the youth group, we're selling bracelets to raise money for one event.
I guess volunteering makes me feel good. Just a good feeling overall that I've had a part in something and I've helped with it. I've tried to make it better. I think that's what builds the church and makes the church stronger.
There's a great joy in helping other people and seeing what takes place after this all comes to fruition. Fortunately, we have a lot of people with a passion to drive some of the things I volunteer to do.
Well, we got X number of jobs and they all had to be filled. And they gotta be filled by volunteers, just one way or another. And available, I'll do it.
If we didn't have but me to rely on, it wouldn't go anywhere. We've got to have a number of people. And so that's one of the important things about volunteering, is seen as a part of being a Christian and being a member of the church.
We're on a short staff, so we pretty much run on a lot of volunteers that people don't see working behind the scenes.
Well, if we didn't have volunteers, the church wouldn't run very well, would it?
I like volunteering, it's fun, and usually pretty enjoyable. It's good camaraderie. I like doing the men's get-togethers, like the men's breakfast, and it's good to meet with have all the guys meet up together, and then you meet some of the people that you don't normally see in church that come and help out with those things. It draws a lot of outside people in, I think, and then especially with volunteering with special events, you get people from around the neighborhood that will come to the church that don't normally come to church, and it gives them the chance to see what type of people worship here.
Well, it makes me feel good that I can help people and put a smile on their face.
I enjoy helping because it's a great way to I'm doing something for the community, and I get to hang out with my friends while doing it. My favorite event was when we went to Aldersgate last week because we got to hang out with the older people and get to play some games with them, and they were all smiling, and it looks like we lit up their whole day, so it was just really fun to know that I made somebody smile, so.
I feel rewarded when I get through because I've done something helpful for the whole community, and for our church too, of course.
I get more out of it than I get sometimes, and that's very rewarding. I think volunteering is a wonderful thing.
I really enjoy helping kids learn more about the Bible, about God's love for them. I feel like the education ministry team is really important because all of these Sunday school activities and classes have to be put in place, and we have wonderful teachers, and I am so thankful for all that they do, and to the ministry team for all the plans that we make every year for the kids.
I think that it gets the kids more involved in church, and it gets the kids more active, and so I hope that they will go home and tell their friends that hey, we did this really cool thing in Sunday school today, you should come join us.
If you ask people if they want to come, they might keep coming.
For me, it's giving back to the people that gave me something. I have no clue where I would be without Boy Scouts or without the church in general. Because it's a lot of work what I volunteer for, but it also makes me feel good because, like I said, I'm giving back to those who gave me something.
I think at this church, our volunteer work impacts the community in many ways. We draw our community in through so much of our outreach, and I think this church is kind of a beacon in the neighborhood and a safe haven for people in the neighborhood. And then that goes out every time we leave here with Meals on Wheels and the eye care pantry and all the different ways that people can see God's love in action in our church. My favorite is probably Vacation Bible School. Just a lot of fun to see excited kids here to participate and get involved and see the interaction between the kids that we have here every week and the kids that we draw in from our neighborhood.
I guess the one thing I want to try to share with people is that, as Pastor Lynn says on Sunday mornings, you don't need to it's not always how much you put in the plate, but how much you serve and you volunteer within the church. And there's all sorts of committees to be involved in. And it really makes me feel like I'm a better part of the church, like it is part of my family.
I think it's so important. We have so many ministries that are part of our church, and they're all so important. And I know that they don't get done, except for all the volunteerism that our church members do. And so I think that's very important because if we don't have the volunteerism, then we don't have the important ministries.
At least being there and being visible. Other people say, I'd like to be like that. I'd like to have a smile on my face. I'd like to see the children have a smile on their face. Or other older individuals in the church that we volunteer to help. And the things that we do with our eye care center downstairs, and the things we do with feeding people at noon, and the things that we do to bring children into the church property and into the church grounds requires a high number of volunteers. Those things don't happen by paying somebody to do it. It has to be people with a passion, and those are typically the volunteers.
I just encourage everybody to volunteer for this church whenever they can and to volunteer in the community. It's a very rewarding activity. There's no feeling like giving your time toward an organization that you believe in. I highly recommend it for everybody.